But that's a genetic alteration from the previous generation.
But there never was a moment when a bird that was not a chicken gave rise to a chicken. It never was.
Of course. So this is a very compressed,
yes.
It's a shorthand
Yes.
for what you just said with
Yes.
the book of your ancestors,
Yes.
going back to the fish.
Here, we're talking about how change in nature doesn't happen with a drum roll. It accumulates in small steps across many generations. Speciation isn't a single dramatic birth. It emerges as populations diverge, often gradually, yet sometimes in sudden leaps. If you could stand at each rung in that ladder, neighbors could still interbreed, only the distant rungs would be out of reach. We can watch versions of this today in ring species like the greenish warbler circling the Himalayas. Adjacent populations mate just fine, yet the two ends meet again as effectively separate. So, where would you draw the line? Biologists use the species concept as a tool, not a decree. It works well in many cases, but edge conditions abound. Hybrid zones, fossils with sparse data, microbes swapping genes sideways. Contrast that with physics, where some thresholds are crisp. A body above roughly 75 Jupiter masses ignites sustained hydrogen fusion and earns the title star. Water at sea level boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Biology is messier because it lives at the level of populations and time, not isolated snapshots. And yes, the egg predates the chicken by hundreds of millions of years. Hard-shelled amniota eggs show up long before any modern bird. In taxonomy, we draw names across a continuous history, and then update them when new evidence arrives. Remember Pluto. New discoveries forced better categories. The universe didn't change. Our labeling did. What else might shift when new data arrive? The takeaway is practical. Categories are maps for navigating reality, not fences that reality must obey. When we accept that, we ask sharper questions, not what was the first, but how did differences accumulate and what processes drove them. That mindset helps in conservation, in medicine, and in understanding ourselves, because there wasn't a single day you became who you are either. The power is in the continuity and in our willingness to refine the words we use to describe it. Like if this was interesting, and hit the subscribe for more.